The rest of the day goes by slowly. I am stuck cleaning most of the day and then serving later. At one point, I speak with Delora about the nights I had tempted to kidnap me, and she tells me that she and Parfait are meeting later to discuss their suspicions. I still do not understand what their suspicions are, while Sir Alcaster cannot possibly know when Sir Alcaster cannot possibly know who I am, but he does though. So. My hands are sore by the end of the night, but I still feel like I can practice with a sword. I notice that both Jurian and Garland look restless too. Garland eventually leaves for patrol, while Jurian remains at the table, looking deep in thought. I did not want to bother her, so I decide to try and find Claude. I go to his room, but I find that the door is locked. Knock, knock, knock. Claude, Karma, are we training tonight? No answer. My heart sinks. Is he not speaking to me? Did I do something wrong? Time to barge in, come on! Knock down the door. Okay, maybe not. Oh, damn it. For days, Claude stayed in his room, only leaving when he had to be on patrol. A few times I saw Parfait go into his room, but she refuses to talk about what's bothering him. I feel so useless. Muda, muda, muda. When Claude did appear in the tavern or out in the town, he still had that terrible grimace on his face. Look, I really don't want to talk right now. If you're so frustrated with me, why not just ignore me? No, I'm not going to train tonight. I'm not in the right state of mind. I don't want to talk about it. Just leave me alone. Please. Okay. Okay. I am really beginning to worry about him. Today I'm in town running errands with Waltz for Parfait. It's been almost a week since Claude started acting so strangely, so I thought I need to do something for him. I know he likes dresses, and he told me once that he likes roses, but can I really find something that would cheer him up? Perhaps he would like some jewelry. Waltz, do you remember where that jewelry store Karma likes is? I don't go there very often, so unfortunately no. Princess, is this a good deed? What are you doing right now? Do you think it would be a good deed? Good deeds need to be selfless, right? Well, generally, yes. I doubt this was called selfish. I'm doing this to cheer Karma up. Oh, that sounds pretty selfless. But it's also so that he goes back to teaching me how to fight instead of sulking in his room. I've heard that Karma's been teaching you how to use a sword. Why do you want to learn how to fight? Because I want to be able to protect myself. It's not like I can use magic, so at least sword fighting gives me an advantage. I'm sorry, Princess. I wish I could teach you magic, but it doesn't work when you're under a curse. But on your 18th birthday, when you become the Tenebrae Bearer, you'll be able to use magic. I'll instruct you if you want me to. Shoot fireballs, zap lightning, you know? Create earthquakes, destroy the world. No, that would be nice. Though that does not solve my current problem. What would cheer Claude up? Maybe a cupcake? I don't know. Walt starts chuckling beside me, and I turn to look at him confused. Karma is important to you, isn't he? He's my partner, and he's helped me. He's also been patient with me, and smiled even when I've said some really inconsiderate things to him. I'm glad, Princess, that he's your friend. My friend. Claude does not feel like a friend. It feels like something else. A husbando, maybe. Oh, Princess, is this the one you are searching for? Waltz points to a peddler sporting different kinds of jewelry, and I instantly make my way toward it. Waltz knows? I mean, yeah. Again, he's been interacting with Karma a whole bunch in the beginning. I don't know, does he know? Does he know, for example, does Waltz know that Karma is actually Claude or something? I don't know. There are all kinds of glittering things displayed, and for a few moments I feel myself getting drawn to everything. Then I notice the price tags, I barely have any money left from when the king gave me that pouch. Cannot afford any of this. Well, maybe we should do our errands first, and then look for a gift. Maybe we'll find something as we look through the stores. But if I don't get Claude's gift today, I may not be able to give it to him tonight. Princess? 65th slot. I'm gonna have to start rotating them now. Or at least soon enough, anyway. Yeah, sure, let's run some errands. Oh, Waltz has a good point. We might find something while we do the errands, and then we can get them out of the way. Besides, it's not right for me to put Claude above everyone else. Actually, a point. Oh, okay. We spent a few hours gathering supplies needed for the tavern, and only then do we start looking again for Claude's gift. Princess, I can hold more of those bags for you. It's fine. I'm used to carrying lots of bags. You know, I'm getting these biceps, you know, strong. Does Karma make you carry them around? The princess, she should really tell him off. Well, he does a lot of other things for me, but next time. Next time I think I will. So as long as he gets out of his room sometime soon, I really hope he does. The princess. But now the problem is finding something that he'll like. What does Claude like? Princess! Ah! There's no reason for you to shout. Waltz shakes his head at me, but he's smiling. Well, let me offer you a deal. A deal? If you help me set up one of my puppet shows, I'll pay you. You earn money from your puppet shows. Well, I get tipped. You know, just like, you know, like, being like, like a musician, you know, like a musician on the street, you know, putting their, like, guitar case, you know, there, I guess. Stuff like that. So what do you say? I won't go easy on you, though. Yes, I'll help you. Why do you seem so surprised? I was just thinking that everyone's right. You've really changed, Princess. Maybe having Karma as a partner really was a good idea. Being partners with Claude may have changed me for the better, but I doubt I've done the same for him. I'm sure Karma will be very happy that you are buying him a gift. Receiving gifts from admirers isn't the same thing as you getting him something. He receives gifts from admirers. For a few moments, I think about the women who tasted in town a few weeks ago, and I feel a little unpleasant stab in my heart. Small things. A man will treat him to a dessert every so often. I saw a lot of it when we did errands together. I always make Karma accept those gifts without killing the man. Killing the man. It's dramatic, but sounds like Karma. He punched Rumpel when he asked him to marry him, drunk or not. Karma wears his disguise to be convincing, but then gets angry when people fall for it. He's still very much like a child. You know how he is. He doesn't like being flirted with. Waltz, do you know anything else about Karma's curse? His curse? He never really talks about it. Claude may even be more stubborn than me if he's not letting anyone help him with his curse. Waltz and I continue our search for a gift. Waltz tells me that I can look for something a bit more expensive, and he'll just put me to work on another day by helping him with his puppets. I return to the jewelry peddler we found earlier. Hello, madam, sir. What are you doing today? Just generic, no-eye guy with slick back hair. It's always this guy. Always looks suspicious. Even though I guess he's just a representative of just a generic, generic guy. Do you have any sort of rose-shaped jewelry here? The man refers me to a box full of many different rose-shaped earrings. He then shows me necklaces, and I realize blatantly that it is as if I'm searching for something for Miss Karma, not Claude. My eyes scan the glass, nearly in defeat, before a little rose catches my attention in the back of the display window. It has a chain connected to it, but it doesn't seem long enough to be a necklace. Now what's this one? That's our simple rose pendant, madam. It comes with a chain, but it can also be pinned on the chest. The man takes it out of the display case so I can look at it. Simple rose. This is fancy, but not completely flashy. I feel a little click as I press my fingers to the pendant, and I realize that it can also open. Oh yes, you can also put something small inside of it. Oh, this is perfect. I look at the price tag and make sure that it's not too expensive. I pay the shopkeeper. Waltz pays him the additional fee, and then we walk back toward the Martian together. When we return to the Martian, I go to my room to tuck the locket into the drawer before I head to the tavern to finish the rest of my chores. Just as I expected, Claude is not downstairs today either. Jurgen and Garland have taken the train with each other, though they seem agitated that Claude is not helping them. What are you doing, Claude? Stop being a neat. A hikikomori. At the end of the day, I hurry to my room, where I write a few words on a piece of paper that I put in the locket. It says, I love you, from Luchette. A normal rose would have withered, so I offered this one instead, in heartfelt thanks. Okay, I guess that's the message. I hold the locket tightly in my hand and start toward Claude's room. Why is my heart beating so fast? I'm just giving him a gift. I pause at Claude's door, remembering the last time I entered his room. His naked bod. No, I'm sure it's okay if I just go in. Okay, this time's not locked, I guess. I open up the door to Claude's room, which is thankfully not locked, and step inside. Claude is sitting motionless in front of his mirror, shoulders slumped as he stares at his reflection. He's shirtless, and there's that tattoo. It seems different. Claude does not notice me at first. I notice that his hand goes to the tattoo over his chest, and I hear him heave a heavy sigh. Slowly, I close the door behind me. It clicks, and that is when he suddenly turns to look at me. At first, there's just shock on his face, then suddenly, anger. Again, why do you do this again, Lucette? I mean, I came here to give you something? I tightly grip the locket in my hands as I stare at him. And this was so important, so very essential that you once again missed knocking on my door for a simple delivery? His voice slices through my heart. I wanted it to be a surprise. I'm not in the mood for surprises, princess. Okay. In no time at all, Claude is suddenly right in front of me. His hands outstretched on either side of me, pinning me to the wall against the door, and acting all edgy now, or something, I don't know, or at least, not edgy, but like, depressed, I guess. I saw that his tattoo, actually, you can't see it now, but his tattoo had like thorns on it or something. Maybe it's related to his curse, maybe he's dying soon or something, maybe that's why, I don't know. His face is so close, his expression is so fierce that I cannot even bring myself to think of a way out. The only thing I can do is stare at him levelly, without getting angry, without crying. I will not show any weakness. Why? Why aren't you struggling or screaming at me? That's what the Lucette that I know would do. And you do not know me as much as you think you do. And you know nothing about me. I already have a retort prepared when I stop, really realizing that he's right. I barely know anything about him. No, I don't. But I like to. Why do you insist on poking your nose into others' businesses? Or others' business? We're partners. I said businesses? No, that's not right. That's the only reason. It has to be. I'm supposed to help you, so why do you keep secrets from me? Help me? His lips quirk, but his smile is sardonic. Claude, I want to help you. In the silence that descends between us, I find that I cannot help but look at Claude's tattoo, with the thorns twirling around the rose. It is beautiful, but it also seems so lethal. When I glance at Claude again, he looks crestfallen, his eyes glittering like he might be on the verge of tears. Secrets are secrets for a reason, princess. You should know that. If I could speak about them, I would, but I can't. And you bursting into my room without any notice only makes it harder. Harder for what? Princess, you can't imagine what this all feels like. What is he talking about? And that woman, I thought we were meant to be. You're so lovely, your smile is bright as the sun. Claude's eyes are far away, that's why. Never again, but then, you ruin everything, Lucette. You cut me down like... I push my hands against Claude's chest, catching him off guard and forcing him to stumble back. I cannot take any of this. Or any more of this. If I ruin everything, then I'll just leave. You can have all the time in the world to yourself then. The locket I brought him burns in my hands, and I end up throwing it at his feet. Lucette, wait. I ignore him as I run from the room. Mwah. When I return to my room and lock my door, I feel too hollow inside for tears. It hurts to breathe when I think of Claude. I eventually manage to fall asleep. I only have to have snatches of restless dreams when my eyes finally close. Well, that didn't go too well. Mother, are you and father in true love, like the fairy tales? I thought I forbid you to speak of fairy tales. Have you been reading them? No, mother. I overheard someone in the palace talking about them today. And I shall have to find that person and make sure they know what an appropriate topic of conversation the palace is. Mother, the true love in the fairy tales sounds so nice. Do you think I can find true love of a prince? Dearest one, true love like that does not exist. The love between a mother and a child is the truest kind. It cannot be replicated by anything else. You know, I wonder, talking about true love, did her mother like fall in love with a human? And did that human betray her? And therefore and then the mother killed, you know, her lover or something like that? I don't know, maybe. Probably would cause her to, you know, go mad or something, you know, go crazy. All other kinds of love is an illusion. My love is all you will ever need. Do you understand me, my heart? Yes, mother. Chapter 8 was a lot of chapters. I wonder what the last chapter is. I don't know. We do already have our 2 good deeds. You know, I feel like every time we get our 2 good deeds, it's like near the end, you know, just like Rod, and we might get our bad end. I don't know, because I don't think we got enough points. So I'll say, keep your stance straight, princess. Jurian gives me the warning, but too late on purpose. I can see the smile on her face as she effortlessly slides past my defenses and taps me on the shoulder with her wooden sword. Got you. Again. For the last few days, I've been practicing with Jurian and Garland because Claude still hasn't come out of his room. Knights offered to train me, and right now they're teaching me about ways to hold a sword. This is slow, but Claude did tell me I wouldn't be able to master the sword so quickly. Claude. He made me so angry that one day that I could not even properly give him my gift. Yet I still feel sad that he's not here teaching me himself. Come on, princess, focus. I jolt out of my reverie and nod at Jurian. Okay. I readied myself for her next strike, and once again I get tapped, this time on the hip. Garland takes over after Jurian, and then we do rounds where I try to hit them with certain strikes. They're both good at teaching, but it does not feel the same as Claude's instruction. His lessons seem less like they were out of a book. But don't worry, princess. It always starts out slow. Lan was just a slow training, but look at him now. Garland whips his head around in Jurian's direction, his face turning deep red. Jurian, that nickname. You're so much fun to tease, Lan. She beams at him, then laughs at his embarrassed face. Our practice goes on for a few more minutes before the knights tell me to wrap up for the night. I think I'm going to stay out here for a little bit. Princess, you know it's dangerous out here at night. If I don't return in 10 minutes, you can come back and check on me. Jurian seems unconvinced, but she eventually nods. Fine, but keep your guard up, princess. I watch the 2 knights as they head back. I see Garland put his arm around Jurian's waist, pulling her closer. I turn away from the sight, ignoring the heavy feeling in my stomach. I'll just practice the swings for 5 more minutes. The only thing I hear in the clearing while I practice is my shallow breathing and the wind in my ears. Something breaks my concentration, however, and I see a glimmer of color in the forest, and I instantly stop, my hands growing tense on the wooden sword. What was that? I glance around my surroundings, and then I freeze when I feel a hand on my shoulder. I can feel someone's breath on my neck. Is that Claude? This all feels familiar. Is this Claude? Well, we can be romantic and put his hand over his, or we can try and put his heart. I mean, that's probably the... Even if it is Claude, we should probably, you know, be ready. You know, be ready to, because we wanted to learn the way of the sword. We should properly understand the lessons we were given. And hiya! I'm pretty sure I recognize Claude's hand, but because I know it's him, I also know what he wants me to do. I duck away from his hand and turn quickly to point my sword. The tip of the wood is at his neck, and for a few stunned moments I think I've won. Even Claude looks surprised. It's really him. But then Claude's hands have moved, and he has one hand over my wrist and the other on my sword. Oh good, Lisette. You realize you had an opening, but you broke your concentration. Claude. Claude removes his hands, allowing me to lower my sword. I'm sorry, Lucette. I feel my breath catch in my throat when Claude holds out the rose pendant that I got for him. I feel my cheeks flush. Yep, that's a pendant. You accidentally left this beautiful thing in my room when I came to return it. Return it. Yes, you left it in my room, and so I thought it appropriate to bring it back to you. Did you really think I left it there on accident? We literally threw it on the ground, you know? Why would I leave in your room on accident? What? I bought it for you. I wanted to give it to you, but you were acting so strangely, and Claude's eyes widen, the surprise clear on his face. Lucette, you bought this for me? Why does he look so shocked? Claude looks at me in awe for a few moments. His eyes go back down to the locket. He traces a finger around the intricate shape, his eyebrows slowly furrowing. It's to thank you for everything you've done for me. Lucette, this is beautiful. He lets the chain fall through his fingers as he stares the rose pendant with adoration. I feel my heartbeat stutter as he turns to regard me with the same gentle smile. He leans forward and my breathing stops as he reaches out to hold up my glass slipper necklace. He's standing so close to me. You really are a good person, Lucette. You completed your second good deed. I think some kind of congratulations is in order. Is there anything you want that I can give to you? We can totally bone. I look up at him and notice that Claude's smile doesn't reach his eyes. He still looks so sad. Again, reminds me of another character in Fate Grand Order that is actually his whole deal is that he's sad all the time, but he also has long red hair and everything. I feel like there's so much that I want from Claude, but I don't want to ask for something that might make him sad. A smile, He did ask us to give us, to smile, right? Before, but maybe you just want a hug. How about I just hug you? Hug-oo. Huh? Claude looks at me in surprise. Thinks I'm being foolish by making such a request, doesn't he? I shouldn't have said anything. But before I can say anything else, Claude takes a step forward and wraps me in his arms. He pulls me toward him, and those moments of silence, all I can hear is his heartbeat resounding in his chest. I can feel his warmth all around me, and his fingers clasp gently at my back. Because even if I tell him to smile, he might not, it might be like a fake smile, right? Remember, like a fake smile? If you force a smile, it's not gonna feel right. So I think maybe just a hug? I don't know. I feel so strange. My heart is racing and my knees feel weak. Mom's spaghetti, is something like this? He speaks right into my ear. It is a surprisingly pleasant feeling. Suddenly, Claude makes a noise of distress as he steps away from me. All of the warmness that was pressed against me one moment ago is gone. Ah, what was that? Karma suddenly stops, eyes wide. He puts his hand on his chest and takes a step away from me, his fingers clutching at the fabric of his shirt. Nini. It's the Death Note heart attack. No, Claude has a pain expression on his face, only making me more anxious. Not now. Claude, are you okay? What's wrong? Lucette, don't worry about it. He lowers his hands with a pained smile, slowly fading away from his face. This does little to reassure me. Was it my fault that you were locked in your room for so long? He just looked so pained to be anywhere near me. No, most definitely not. I was feeling under the weather. That's it, right? No. And also bitter. Bitter? Why would he feel bitter? But it's not for you to worry about, darling. For now, we should head back. It's late, and you need rest. I just got back from patrol, so I would like to rest as well. Is there anything else I can do for you? No, sweet Lucette. You've already done enough for me. He clutches the rose locket to his chest and sighs out a little with a gentle smile. His smile feels real to me. This is a beautiful gift, and I will treasure it always. Thank you, Lucette. Now shall we head back? I nodded him and we silently walked back to the Martian. Alright. When we make it back to the tavern, I feel tired, but also lighter than I have for weeks. Claude wishes me a good night before slowly walking off to his room, holding the rose locket I gave him tightly. He's totally gonna die. Oh well. Today I'm walking around town to do some errands with Claude. It's been quite a while since we have done this. Though we are here to run errands, there's also something else that drew me into town today. Yesterday, Waltz came back to the Martian and told us of an announcement the king was making today. Apparently the announcement had been posted for at least a week's time, but Waltz had only caught onto it after hearing about it from the crowds after one of his puppet shows. I'm not sure what this announcement entails, but I feel that I need to see the king make it with my own eyes. I can see more people milling about more than usual, which means most of them must be waiting for the king to speak. I have a bad feeling about this. It's not strange for the king to make announcements, but this feels so sudden. And with everything else that has happened to me, I feel on edge. Wow, Lucette, you made those bags sound a lot lighter than they actually be. Stop complaining, Miss Karma. You get value experience out of carrying bags. Okay, we're making him carrying the bags now. Seeing Claude complain is amusing, especially since I know he can handle the load. I feel like a servant. What does that make me when you made me carry all those bags before? An assistant? I roll my eyes at him. We're both working at the Martian, you know. And then the thought strikes me. What do you even do with the Martian? Claude looks surprised at my question, but then he quickly smiles at me. I'll train the knights, of course. I also attract customers with my beautiful reputation. I start laughing and Claude's face flushes. Darling, I get the feeling you're laughing at me. I wonder. We finish up the rest of our errands and then sit down in the town plaza to rest. Claude leaves briefly and then returns for a slice of cake for both of us to share as a snack. I have a lot of things I want to ask him, and now feels like the right time to do so. May I ask you a question? Of course, darling, anything. Do you enjoy dressing like a woman? I don't mind it, really. I appreciate the beauty in anything. You girls get to wear quite an assortment of lovely dresses and makeup. It's quite beautiful. I feel more comfortable in my own clothes, but I don't mind dresses. I guess if you had to wear a dress for so long, you get used to it. I have another question. And what would that be? When I was in your room the other day, you spoke about the woman. Were you talking about the witch who cursed you? Oh no, the woman I was talking about... He suddenly goes silent and lowers his head. His expression fades into something more melancholy, and I feel my heart lurch. Or maybe I shouldn't have brought this up. To my surprise, Claude continues talking. Well, shortly after I came to Angil, there was a woman that I met whose smile was as radiant as sunshine. She was beautiful, and when she laughed, everything felt right about the world. Hearing him talk about her makes me uncomfortable. Am I jealous? Claude watches me quietly, as if he's measuring my expression. Eventually, he goes back to speaking. I knew her for many months. Time passed, and I thought we were truly in love. Then He goes silent for a few moments, his eyes distant, his expression pained. Well, some things happened, and I realized she only loved me because of my curse. She was just drawn to me like any other woman is. She seemed so genuine in comparison to the other women, but in the end... Cloud trails off and lets out an exasperated sigh. You were truly in love with her? I was. I've dated many women, but I've never fallen in love with someone who has honestly loved me back. So that the last woman who he loved was that one woman. Claude looks at me, and for a few moments he does not speak. Lucette, do you mind if I ask you a question? No, I don't mind. Have you ever loved anyone? My mother, of course. I was referring to the romantic kind of love. Romantic kind of love? What does that kind of love feel like? Oh, allow me to enlighten you. He smiles at me and is surprisingly genuine. It can feel simultaneously like floating and sinking. Your heart stutters and you worry about small things, about offending this other person in some way. You wonder if they'll like what you're wearing, or if they would prefer a sandwich to a casserole when you treat them for a dinner. You begin to find beauty in all the things that they do. Their presence makes you feel complete in a way that you never thought of before. You try to imagine life without that person and find that you cannot. To even consider such a thing is painful, so much less than it feels like it might break your heart. Clark continues talking, but my mind's already whirling. Though he phrases things in a way that still feels unnecessarily dramatic, I feel a tinge of familiarity. The things he's describing, those are things I feel when I'm with him. Before I can say anything, we hear the sound of hooves, and both of us turn. I can see a procession of knights, along with the king on his horse. He normally rides to town like this, but today he's not smiling, and there are way too many knights riding with him. Is that Sir Alcaster? Let us go find a place to stand and watch. As you wish. Claude walks with me into the crowd, gathering around the king, and we find a spot to spectate at the very edge, closer to the alleyways. My beloved citizens of Angel, I've come before you today to make an important announcement. Ever since I was given this crown, I was sworn to live my life for the people, and to rule in all fairness, so that our kingdom could enjoy great peace. The crowd breaks into applause. Yay! Hooray! Huzzah! I stare at the king, an uneasy feeling in my stomach when I notice that there's sadness in his eyes, though he is smiling. Then I notice Sir Alcaster appears to be hiding a smile. I do not like where this is going. The king's speech goes on for long minutes after that, with him detailing the commitments he made, the goals he set, and finally his love for the people. The audience around us claps and cheers, but Claude and I are silent. Something is not right. I nod in response. To this day, I keep this promise. I would never break this oath, but it is the foundation of which I rule. The audience claps again, but I am silent, watching the king intently. Unfortunately, the unwelcome news I bring to you today gives me the reason to hand this foundation over to someone else. I have fallen terminally ill. Okay, that was interesting. That didn't happen before. The king's proclamation is met with shock and angry chattering from the audience. I cannot hear anything that's being said over the cacophony of voices, but I know that the audience is dissenting. I stiffen as I stare at the king. He's lying. Okay, so yeah, maybe he is lying actually. Because maybe this time, Alcaster's coup d'etat, is successful. You know, he isn't stopped by Mithros because we aren't at the castle this time, so he, is unabided in terms of his like rebellion, so now Alcaster is gonna take over the town, or the kingdom anyway, not a town I guess, but the whole kingdom. I could tell by the firm set of his jaw and the way his eyes flicker across the crowd faster than they ought to. The king has lied to me so many times before that I can recognize when he does it. I know this is unfortunate news that might come to a shock, but this is the illness for which there is no current cure. As for the question of my successor, he trails off for a few moments, and I think I see something in his eyes that hints at urgency. I'm not sure why. Crown Princess Emmeline is unmarried, and still too young to rule on her own. I feel a pang of irritation and confusion. Another lie. Emmeline could have ruled just fine with the help of Sir Mithros and the others. Yeah, she could be like, just a regent, right? After much thought, I have come to the conclusion that our kingdom, which still continues to face danger from the witches, is best put in the capable hands of the commander of the Order of Caldera, Sir Alcaster. What? I cannot hide my shock. The rest of the audience reacts similarly. Their sudden outburst a testament to their confusion. While I will be providing support and assistance from the sidelines, I'm sick. I'm dying of illness. I need some water. Hold on. Roleplay as King Gennaro. I cannot, in all good grace, continue to wear this crown when I know I cannot serve my people as they deserve. Simply put, I believe that the witches have gained more power in the recent months, and that Sir Alcaster is best suited to deal with these conflicts. The fairytale curse runs more rampant these days, and there have been more reports of incidents involving magic. The murmuring continues, except now the townsfolk sound panicked. This cannot be true. I do not miss the reluctance in the king's next words. Sir Alcaster has also suggested a number of remedies to our laws, especially concerning our security and work hours. I believe that Sir Alcaster can better rule this country in these turbulent times. Please show him all the love and loyalty you have shown me. The bastard. Claude has a foul expression on his face. His words feel heavy, even in a low whisper. I know the king. He takes every duty upon himself and would never hand his crown to someone else. Once Sir Alcaster comes to stand on the podium, he silences them with a glare. Citizens of Angela, I swear to you that I will serve you as well as Gennaro has. That being said, I also believe some changes will need to be made. Sir Alcaster continues to speak. He mentions things like curfews for safety, extended work hours, and additional taxes to go towards knights, but I'm slowly beginning to block out the drone of his voice. What's going on, sir? No, Alcaster must have done something to force the king into his charade. The king stands behind Alcaster with his hands clasped, his eyes alert. There's a helplessness to them that I have never seen before. It isn't long before the crowd's unsettled murmuring becomes agitated whispering. I am stunned when Claude cups his hand to his mouth and starts shouting. There's only one king. King Gennaro. Claude grips my hand, and starts leaning around the outskirts so that people cannot spot him as he continues his shout. Yeah! Rebellion! Revolution! Crowd begins to chant aloud of Claude, and then they draw nearer to the stage where my father and Alcaster are standing. There's only one king! King Gennaro! Rah! Rah! There's only one king! King Gennaro! Let's go, Lucien. Okay, we riled up the crowd. Let's start a protest on the streets. The crowd is right next to the platform now, and the chant carries on. Claude pulls me behind him, but my mind is on my father and on his desperate eyes. Hours later, the Martian's tavern is chaotic. People are talking over each other, trying to relay the scene that they saw in town today. Every visitor here is talking about what they witnessed. I've been in the corner of the room this entire time, trying to understand everyone, but failing. Laura and Parfait are not here to calm all of this chaos. Hey, princess, how are you feeling? I almost jump when I hear Rumpel's voice. Surprised? I can feel when the damsel is in distress, my lady. I'm not in the mood for your flirting, Rumpel. Oh, my apologies. I thought you might have wanted some cheering up. Where's your partner? He went out to town to survey the situation. Oh, Karma doesn't do anything around the tavern, but he does a whole lot for you, doesn't he? I suppose that's the least a man in love can do. I feel myself blush. What is Rumpel going on about? Princess, you're pink. I'm not. My mind feels all scrambled now. This is all Rumpel's fault. Thankfully, before Rumpel can continue talking, the door opens and Laura walks inside to call all the Martian boarders into the reception room. When I step into the reception room, I'm surprised to see two familiar figures stand beside Parfait. Emmeline and Rod. Both of them look downtrodden and discouraged. Everyone is noticeably shocked as they step inside. Okay, yeah, it's interesting. The royal families here as well. Prince and Princess. Prince and Princess, where do they come from? What's happening at the palace? What of Queen Ophelia? We need silence in the room, everyone. Laura raises her voice, effectively causing everyone to pause. She glances at Parfait, who nods, and then turns to look at Rod and Emmeline. Princess Emmeline, if you would tell everyone what you told Laura and I. The room is unnaturally quiet as Emmeline begins her story. She starts with the events of 1 week ago. In the middle of the family dinner, Alcaster burst in with soldiers and seized her. Rod and Ophelia in front of the king. Okay, not in the ball this time, just dinner time, I guess. Sir Alcaster said that if the king didn't hand over his crown, he would kill us. We had no idea a coup would be staged. The three of them were taken down to their prison cells, with Ophelia taken to a separate cell. Sir Fitzgerald helped us escape, but only just barely. Oh, okay, Fritz is still, breathing and alive, and helping us. Fritz, are you openly disobeying your father? I hope that he's safe. Alcaster wanted to kill the king. I'm sure he still will. He has no reason to. The king has already handed over his crown. I speak before even realizing. Everyone stares at me, including Rod and Emmeline. Alcaster is a foul man. I don't think he will usurp the throne now without violence because he wants less resistance from the people. He never spoke up to my father before. Did you just say father? It's a long story. Emma looks between Rod and I, her expression confused. You know each other? We do. Emma looks like she wants to say something, but she remains silent. Our mother is still in the palace. We need to save her somehow, and Sir Fitzgerald. What happens to Fritz? We don't know. He helped us escape, but we were spotted at the last minute. He told us to run ahead and leave him behind. Okay, maybe he is dead. Rip. We didn't see him again after that, and we couldn't just wait, so Rod brought him here. Right now, we need to piece together this situation as quickly as we can, and then we need to figure out a way to save the king. God save the king. I knew Alcaster was up to something, but I never thought it would escalate into this. Jurian, what do you know about this? Garland and I were stripped of our titles because we disobeyed Alcaster's orders. It was because we overheard Alcaster plotting something and tried to tell the king of his plot. We gave him a warning, but the king did not believe us, not with Alcaster and Mithros whispering in his ears. The king didn't think Alcaster was possible of such betrayal. He thought we were trying to turn him against Alcaster for our own gain. And so Alcaster stripped us of our titles and banished us from the Shadow Realm, from the palace. Lady Parfait found us, and while we were happy to help out the tavern, we also intended to eventually do something about the mess in the palace. So Alcaster has been planning to do this all this time. Yep. When we part for the night, Parfait and Delora take Rod and Emmeline to the room that they can share. It's been decided they will be harbored here at the Martian, a place that Emmeline apparently knew about but never came to, because she wasn't cursed. Well, Rod did say that his family knew he was cursed. I noticed Emmeline look at me many times throughout the night, but she never asked me anything. I don't know, maybe we look familiar to her? I don't know. The next few days are a muddled mess. Everyone is busy trying to find out what happened and what could be done to help the king. I'm sweeping the tavern half-heartedly one day. My thoughts are everything but my chores. Everyone's been trying to do something to help out the last few days. Though I've gone on quite a few trips into town with Claude to search for information, I haven't been able to find much. Yeah, we're not as deeply involved this time. You know, in like Alcaster's coup d'etat. I feel so useless. I'm finally on my break, so I decide to go into the reception room to rest. When I step inside, I notice Emmeline sitting on a couch. She waves me over as soon as she sees me. She hasn't really openly spoken to me since she's been here. Parfait and Delora have been trying to hide her, so as not to cause a ruckus in the Martian. Rumors are dangerous now. You're Lucette, right? We met in like a different timeline, you know, we're like best friends, but I guess, you know, we don't really know each other now, so we had to reintroduce each other. I don't know why my throat is so dry today. I keep coughing in the microphone, that's not good. Just water. Yes? Rod told me about your curse. He said that you're the king's blood daughter. I'm really sorry. Okay, so I guess she knows everything. We didn't tell her everything before, but now I guess we just did. I'm shocked by Emmeline's sudden outburst. What? I didn't mean to, but I took your place. How could I forget my own sister? But we're not blood related. That doesn't matter. I will love you regardless. Emmeline was always trying to take me out and do things with me back when I was still in the palace. I distanced myself from her because I thought the king loved her more than he loved me. I still think maybe he does. Oh yeah, he does actually, yes. Or at least, I don't know, maybe. At least, you know, he's more open to showing affection for her because of her relationship with Queen Ophelia, right? Probably just, you know, just have a thorny relationship with Lisette because of her mother and everything, right? Or like the witch mother, anyway. We weren't close. I barely spoke to you or to Rod. Didn't he tell you that? He did. But perhaps now we can turn over a new leaf? Emmeline is as stubborn as always. I have more things to worry about than being her friend. I have to go. I walk off before the conversation can continue. Well, Emmeline Rouse never. If I had been cursed and remained in the palace, would Sir Alcaster have taken me hostage too? Yeah, actually. Oh well, I don't think he did actually. He did. He didn't know actually. Yeah, he didn't know. Sir Mithros specifically like kept him in the dark, so he didn't know about Lucette, I think. Or I don't know, I think he knew. I remember Alcaster calling us princess though, so that's kind of weird. I don't know. Weird. This is weird. But initially he kidnapped Emmeline instead of Lucette. And we're still not like we're still stubborn, you know. We're not being friends with her anymore. No. The hours tick by and the tavern is empty for the day. Laura calls everyone together to explain what she and Parfait have pieced together about the situation. Alright everyone, we've come upon some new information. The first is that Alcaster has cracked down the riots in town. Anyone seen protesting his rule is thrown in prison. Well, you can't send us on prison, let's go! Viva la revolution! The king has always valued the people's opinion. Alcaster does not want opinions, he only wants to rule an iron fist. Our patrols have shown that there's overall more security in the palace and around the town. They have been charged with keeping people quiet in whatever ways they possibly can. As we heard from the prince and princess, things are most turbulent in the palace. The king is still alive, but it is unlikely that he will stay that way for very long. One thing is clear. Given Alcaster's motives to take over the kingdom, I doubt he will rest until the king is dead. The king's men have turned against him, and even if there are loyal soldiers still left in the palace, we cannot contact them right now. Rescuing the king and the queen will be on us then. We just so happen to have people in this tavern that have a shot at rescuing them. Prince Rod has the key to a secret passage that we can use to break into the palace. Bumping into my pop filter. Secret passageway? But only the king and the commander of the knights have the keys of the passage, so how do they get a copy? Who's going to join us on our mission? Jurian and Garland both volunteer immediately, followed shortly by Claude and Waltz. I'll go too. The room goes quiet as I step forward and volunteer. A princess, we can't just allow you to put yourself in danger. I look at Claude, who is staring at me shocked. I took up the sword so I could protect those I care about. I did a sword training montage, you know? Don't worry about it. Princess, you don't have nearly enough practice. I can help. I still have time to learn. I agree with Parfait, Princess. The palace is the place for you to try out your newfound sword skills. No. Then you may as well chain me up, because I refuse to stay here while you all go save the king. Princess. Well, she's been practicing with the rest of us. Don't encourage her, Jurian. But it's not like any of us can stop her anyway. You're right. The princess is quite stubborn. Yep. Cloud agrees with Jurian, but I can still tell that he does not like the idea of me going along with them. If only we had the time to get reinforcements from Karma's country. Karma's country? Brugantia. Now is it possible that a Brugantian citizen can simply ask for reinforcements? Well, Karma is the crown prince of Brugantia. There's some shuffling in the room as everyone turns to gawk at Claude. Rumple, Anise, Rod, and Emmeline all look shocked by this revelation. Yeah, I guess not everyone knew. You're the Lost Prince? Lost Prince. Sounds like such a tragedy, doesn't it? Anise suddenly looks distressed as she fiddles her thumbs. All this time and I never knew. I'm so sorry, Your Highness. There's no need for formalities, Anise. But I am the Lost Prince after all. I keep my lineage a secret because right now I'm just a normal commoner. But you're the prince. Couldn't you still ask for reinforcements? Even if I did ask for reinforcements, I'm pretty sure they would never come in time. Besides, I can't go back to my kingdom yet. I cannot go back while he's still cursed. The conversation continues in a more solemn tone. Eventually, we start speaking of our plan to enter the palace. When the details are all finalized, I repeat everything myself to make certain that I know what's meant to happen. Okay, I don't know why I read that weird. Waltz will lead us to the palace, then, and Jurian and Garland will follow right behind him, watching for the most immediate enemies. Okay, Waltz is gonna be like a sneaky, roguish type and sneak into the castle first, I guess. Leave it to us. We'll deal with any resistance before it touches you, princess. And Karma will be watching from the back, along with Delora. a witch and a prince for backup. Laura smiles wryly and Claude rolls his shoulders. To be the rear guard, I guess. I like to think of us as more of the closing act. Though, if all goes according to plan, we have no need for either the opening or the closing act, but you know, the rule of drama, something will go wrong. You know, whenever there's a plan, whenever there's someone makes a plan, especially if you're on like the good guy team and you know, we think of everything, something will go wrong. You know, otherwise everything goes right, then what's the point, right? Gotta have drama. Anyway. It is a small task force, which is better. The smaller the better. The last thing we want is to be noticed. We decide to meet again over the course of next week to finalize our plan and carefully survey the situation in town before parting. Claude has taken to training me, Jurian and Garland at the same time. Just the other day, we had all of us attack him together. Even though I am nowhere near as good as a trained knight, I still managed to hit him once. You know, I mean, yeah, just like in real life, you know, because even if you're the best, like, swordsman ever, like, if multiple people attack you at once, it's really hard to, like, actually survive that kind of thing, you know? Yeah, the plan that almost never goes smoothly, yep. We'll see, I guess. I feel like things are coming to some sort of conclusion, and yet I still haven't done 3 good deeds, you know? Today we finalize our plans for getting into the palace. We've mapped out where the king and Ophelia must be in the prisons, where the guards might be positioned, and how we plan on sneaking in. Snake, this is a sneaking mission. I sit down in my bed and I'm about to lay down when I hear something. Hello, love. My, you're red. What do you think about me? I noticed that he has one hand on his chest tonight, but then he has been doing that more often lately. I noticed that during practices and sometimes when I catch his eyes. Is he sick? Darling, I noticed that he came in without, you know, knocking, you know, the thing that we weren't changing, otherwise we would be nude, I don't know. I shake myself with the sound of Claude's voice. What if I was changing? You could have knocked, yeah. Well, you didn't seem to have a problem when you walked in on me changing without announcing yourself. That's different. He strolls inside and steps closer to me. He smiles at me mischievously. Oh, how so? Cat got your tongue? Claw shakes his head, his smile softening. I really didn't mean to come in to disturb you. I just have something important I need to say to you. Claude kneels in front of me and furrows his eyebrows. I want to insist you reconsider going to the palace with us. As Parfait and Dolores have said many times, it will be dangerous. Nothing you say is going to change my mind. I want to do what I can to help everyone. Yes, and that terrifies me. Terrifies you? If your stubbornness leads you to putting your neck out there for someone, I will never forgive myself for your injuries. If you want to help me, stay here, where you'll be safe. I'm not some damsel that needs to be protected. You said, all I want is for you to stay safe, so that when we save your father, you can face him with a smile. I won't be able to face my father unless I'm one of the people to save him. Stubborn as always. I sigh, irritation welling up in my stomach at the look on Claude's face. He's calling me stubborn, but he's being stubborn. He's being stubborn about this. You said I improved my sword fighting. You have. You've improved so much because of your resilience and drive, and because you're genuinely interested. It's because I have a good teacher. Your compliment is gentle music to my ears. Your compliments mean a lot to me, Lucette. My eyes fixate on his soft smile, at the gentle crinkles at his eyes. Our eyes lock, and for a few moments I am aware of a slight energy between us. Love energy, whoosh. I glance away hurriedly, not entirely sure what happened, but I kept staring at him. I don't know why I said whoosh. Is that like, I don't know. Love energy. I'm more like, I guess, doki doki, you know, doki doki sound effects. My heart beats unsteadily in my chest. Earlier today, I comforted your sister when she started crying about the things that had happened in the palace. I'm lying. Why would he comfort her? I saw her crying downstairs in the reception room earlier today, without anyone there. She's a rather sweet girl. I keep thinking that the two of you are completely different. You're both strong-willed and stubborn, but She wears her emotions on her sleeve, but you keep it all inside of you. I'm not hiding anything, if that's what you're implying. Mother always told me crying was weak. Claude stands up and leans forward. Before I know it, I am in his arms. Lucette, I'm always here for you. I feel flustered again and my mind feels foggy. I can barely comprehend what's in my mind or in my heart. Thank you or I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know which one would be the right thing to say. I guess sorry? Maybe thank you, actually. Thank you for always being there for me, or I'm sorry for being such a burden on you. I don't know. Well, for what? Why are you sorry? For my stubbornness. I guess, yeah. Claude pulls away from me slightly and raises an eyebrow. He chuckles. Oh, but your stubbornness is one of the many things that I like about you. My heart thumps loudly. Like? Oh, I meant... Oh, okay. Again, that weird, like, inverse, thing. Suddenly he steps back, his hand on his chest again, his breathing heavy. I stare at Claude with wide eyes. Claude, are you okay? I'm fine. He sighs slowly, but he sounds obviously pain. I'll go get Anise. No. No. I'm fine. I'm fine. I swear it's just a spell of dizziness. But you... He manages a small, tight-lipped smile before he straightens and shakes his head. His hands are visibly shaking. I must be tired. But Claude, do not tell anyone about this, okay? I don't want them to worry. Why is he always so stubborn? He's obviously in pain. And probably something with his tattoo? Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I saw before his tattoo has initially it was just a small rose, but then there's thorns. I assume his curse has something to do with the tattoo. And maybe, once the tattoo is he'll die or something? I don't know. I clench my hands into fists as I frown at him. Why must you always be so secretive? You're keeping something from me, Claude. I'm sorry, Lucette. Claude abruptly leaves the room, leaving me with my fragmented thoughts. Well, you don't really get an answer, though. We're just gonna move on to the rescue. We're gonna rescue the king. Gonna get our codex ready, and then gonna do our sneaking mission, something like that. Save the DARPA chief.